Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and this subscriber used the Ask Mr. Locario program. This is when you send me a question, and I answer it within 24 hours guaranteed. So if you want your question answered within 24 hours, make sure you click the link below. I'm going to have the link for the Ask Mr. Locario program. So this one says, here's my question. I've been studying the game for 3 years now, and as a result, I am able to have sex with around 4 women a year. The only thing is that recently I've been investing more energy than ever with less results. For example, I've been, since in the past 6 months, going out with 29 dates with different women, but only within the last was I able to have sex. In the past, my score was around 1 out of 4. So 1 out of 29 is very low. I've only been able to have a second date 7 times out of the 29, and in 5 times out of the 29, I was able to obtain something like a flirt. I would like to know how to go back to the stage where I was able to have sex with 1 woman out of 4, or more generally. I would like to know how to increase my chances of getting a second date and of entering in a flirty mode and eventually having sex. All right. So, and you guys got a part of my voice. I got a sore throat, so that's probably why I'm sounding all funny and stuff. But anyway, it could be 2 things that I see happening right now. Is 1, you're just going through a dry spell. Okay? So basically, what a lot of guys got to understand about the game is that there are going to be times where nothing's really going to be popping off. You understand? Or it's not going to be going like how it usually goes. So, sometimes you get into a mode where you're talking to girls, you're getting numbers, you're going out, this is happening, you're having sex here and there. And then there's times where, nothing happens for a good while. You understand? So that happens with everybody. There's going to be dry spells here and there. There's going to be times where, the game isn't working for you as you want it to work at that moment. It's kind of like how that happens in business a lot too, because I used to work at this gym, and there'll be times where, the gym is popping off, around like January when people made their New Year's resolutions, everybody want to be in the gym and all that other stuff. And then around like summertime, it kind of falls off. Only the people who are really about the gym life come to the gym, but most of the other people started falling off by then. You understand? Because, around that time, not as many people are coming through to the gym. So the gym isn't making as much money, with members or whoever around that time. And then it picks back up later on. Right? So there's, this little flow that happens within the game. So it happens in every facet of life where, at some point this is going to be going down. At some point it's going to slow down. And at another point it's going to go back up. It's just like when you see those graphs of a business where it's like up and down. You know what I mean? It just happens that way. So you just have to understand that that's part of the game too, where, you're just having that dry spell right now. Right? Now, another thing too that could be affecting the frequency of you having sex and getting things going is, I think what could be happening is that when you're on these dates, you are thinking too much about the game. And what I mean is that, as I'm reading your email, you seem to really be focused so much on the statistics of your interactions, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with, analyzing your game and seeing what you could do better and all this other stuff. But the thing is that you're so focused on, okay, I talked to this many girls, I get this much sex, but then I talked to this many girls, then I went on a second date with this many girls, and then this happened at the third date or whatever. And so it's like you're so focused on that. So when you're on a date, you're probably so focused on, let's say, having sex with this girl or making something happen because you want to increase your number count. You understand what I'm saying? So instead of being focused on the date, you're so focused on increasing that number count. So you're probably on your date and you're like, damn, well, this is my sixth date for the month, and I haven't had any sex with the last 5 girls, so now my ratio is getting lower and lower, so now I got to make sure that I have sex with this girl so I can keep the numbers up, you know what I'm saying? So when you're on the date, that becomes part of your date instead of you being in the moment and enjoying the date. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta, I would say you have to fall back a little bit on worrying about the numbers and worry about focusing more just on the actual date. Because, you know, if the amount of numbers of women that you're having sex with, and, you know, how many times you went on the second date and this and this and that is so important to you, what's going to happen is that you are not really focusing on the actual date. And then by not focusing on the actual date, you're not really there. And then by, you know what I'm saying, you're not really like focused on the shit. You're not there. You're somewhere else in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? And then so when you're somewhere else in your mind, that affects the success of the date. You see what I'm saying? So I would say, like, you got to be a little bit more, you know, involved in the date and less, you know, and fall back on worrying about, you know, how much the ratio of how many girls you went out with to, you know, how many girls you're having sex with and all that other stuff. Now, again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like you're focusing on that way too much and you're not focusing on just being on the date. Because the thing is that, you know, you said that you said you've been studying the game for 3 years and you were able to have sex with around 4 women a year. And then you said recently you've been investing more energy with less results. And then as you're saying that you're focusing more energy and you're getting less results, you're saying that, you know, I went on 29 dates and, you know, then you start getting into all the numbers. So what happened was that when you was getting the 4 women a year, you were probably less focused on the numbers at that moment. You understand what I'm saying? But now that you know, it's slowing up a little bit, then you started probably focusing more on the numbers, and then that affected, you know, your numbers. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like if you want those numbers to increase, you sort of got to forget about the numbers. And you have to be focused on the task, right? It's kind of like, let's say you have a person in business, and what happens is that they're so focused on the numbers, the money, and, you know, and again, it's not a bad thing to be focused on, you know, at certain points, but you still have to focus on your product, on your marketing, on all those things, which is the thing that makes people buy your product, which increases your numbers. You see what I'm saying? So if you forget about focusing on the product and the marketing and all those other things that get people to buy that product, then that's going to affect your numbers. But if you focus on the product and the marketing, that's going to affect your numbers in a way where it's going to increase the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Because you're focusing on the actual thing that's going to get you to the point of where you want to be. So the thing you have to focus on is the date, which is going to get you to the point of where you want to be. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, make sure that you're just, you know, fall back a little bit on the counting and the statistics of your game and focus on the actual date, you know, that you're having. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, you could always look back on the numbers, but, you know, just do it, you know, once in a blue moon, you know, and you know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be anything extremely accurate. Like, you don't have to have no damn, you know, I know some people be having spreadsheets and shit, and they, you know, jot down the amount of girls they had sex with and the amount of girls they went out with, and they call it like their lay count or something like that. Like, you don't need to do all of that. You understand? When you focus too much on that, then you start focusing too much on just the getting of the sex, and then that within itself sometimes, you know, makes you not get it because you're not really focused on the actual moment and the date, which creates the situation for the girl to be inspired to have sex with you. You see what I'm saying? Because now at a certain point, you're going to get so thirsty to get sex because you're like, damn it, this is the 4th, 5th girl I went out with this week and I didn't have sex with her. and then you're so hungry on making that happen. You understand? Because you're like, I gotta make sure I get those numbers up. You understand what I'm saying? And then even if you do have sex, let's say with the first girl you meet up with this week, then you're gonna want to keep that going so much that the second girl you meet, you might be acting extra thirsty because you want to keep that momentum up, and then that makes it go back down to where you're not making anything happen. You understand? So you got to just sort of fall back on that and focus more on the date, and then you're going to actually see more of the results happening. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you click the link below. If you want your questions answered in 24 hours, make sure you click the link below and send me a question. All right? So I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.